science student at UC Berkeley, as well as an executive member of Cal ACLU, which also fully rejects this unjust occupation. I was in the community treehouse for the entire acquisition process. I saw everything that has been stated so far and can attest that that's exactly what happened. We were their last targets to remove from the park, a very strategic decision. Initially, riot police arrived in unmarked white vans with out-of-state license plates that were designed to not be noticed as vehicles used by the police. They immediately rushed the treehouse and the community kitchen, the two main structures of the park. They cut off our ladder, which, as was stated, is the only way down from that treehouse, and surrounded us with blinding lights and guns so that we could not distinguish officers. And whether those guns were lethal or not, being there with lights pointed at you and a gun of any kind is, it's scary. It was designed to incite fear, and it worked. Zero safety measures were then used to break into the fortified kitchen. They did not have any kind of plan for safety, it seems. But that's understandable since they probably couldn't have organized very well. They were comprised, from my understanding, of UCPD, Berkeley PD, and California Highway Patrol officers, but you'd be forgiven for not knowing that, as they were expressly made to wear nearly identical uniforms that night, so that two officers with two different departments and with different laws applying to them, as Berkeley police officers are not allowed to use certain tactics when dealing with nonviolent protests and the other departments are not, we couldn't distinguish those officers. We couldn't tell which one was which. We asked, us in the treehouse, we asked questions, people on the ground asked questions, and every single time, every officer refused to answer questions about their names, about their badge numbers, about their departments, and about their orders. About an hour and a half into the raid, and after several arrests that you've already heard about had been made, an announcement was finally made to those of us left that we would be arrested for trespassing and possible other related crimes if we were to stay. Officer Kosiski got on a loudspeaker with a Cal OSCE logo on it so that we all knew who he was with, and listed the possible ways they might seriously injure us, including physical restraint, long-range acoustic devices, baton strikes, beanbag rounds, marking projectiles or paintballs, foam baton rounds, tear gas, which Berkeley PD is not allowed to use, CN gas, CS gas, pepper balls, and pepper spray. Police lines then pushed the remaining people on the ground into the streets and away from the park. There only remained us in the treehouse, heckling the police for not communicating with us. A group on the roof of the community bathroom that was taking video of other colleagues. Nicholas Alexander, a UC Berkeley graduate and English departmental scholar who built the treehouse and was really helpful in that sense. And another man, an unhoused U.S. Army veteran who served our country after the 9/11 attacks. We were left to weigh our options there as the police finally spoke to us. They wanted us to come down, acting like they hadn't heard any of the several hours of questions we had been asking them. And they said that we would not be arrested on that night. And that is the wording that they chose to use was, "You will not be arrested tonight," which may sound nice to some people still living optimistically in support of the police, but we were somewhat skeptical of that phrase. So we negotiated. We got them to confirm in front of reporters and in front of us that we would not have any charges attached to it so long as we came down peacefully. But even still, we were concerned more with the park than we were with our own lives, and that continues to be true today. We really wanted to get a guarantee that the redwood we were in would not be cut down and that it would be protected. It is and was the last of a once mighty grove of native redwood trees that sat in the park when it was actually a park before the UC deforested it, took everything away. They told us again it would not be cut down that night, and so we should take what we can from that. It's not going to be cut down that night. It gave us very little solace when we got down and saw that the university had released a map, actually, of their proposed plan, and right where that park is, that tree is, there is a building. So I don't have much faith in that promise either. We realized at that point that our efforts would at most postpone the project for perhaps an hour or two. Initially, we had planned to stay despite the guarantee that we would not have charges attributed to us. We realized our efforts would at most postpone the project an hour or two, as they brought out a large piece of construction equipment that not sure why they had when construction was banned, but they brought that out to make sure we knew that they could take us down from the treehouse as quickly as possible. They wouldn't use ladders, they would take us out by whatever means necessary. And at that point, we decided to put our combined anger and pain into work outside of the park, organizing events like this one today and working with my colleagues behind me to try and keep the community alive, because you can try to take people's park, but you can't take the people. So.